Hey everybody, this is Alex Merced from alexmercedcoder.com, and on this view what we're going to do is do full CRUD on Dreams. Now Dreams is going to be using the is more of a related object, okay, but it's not related. It has it has its own model that's different than Hopes, which was embedded in users. But let's just kind of wrap up Hopes by adding like a link back to the dashboard. So I'm going to go do that. So here in our Hopes index and show. Okay, index and show. I want to add that by the here. We'll just put a link a href equals / dashboard and just add that also to here. Okay, and let's just see here, make sure that gets added. Oh, my server's not running. Okay, npm run dev. Okay, let's see here. There we go, dashboard. So that should take me back to the dashboard. Hopes and Dreams. I can go back to Hopes dashboard. Now we just need to build out Dreams, because Dreams has really got nothing yet. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we got to build out the Dream router. So let me go to the Dream router that we built out last time. Okay, and essentially what I want first is we're going to render a show page, which should be dreams/index. And what I'm going to do is basically our Hopes templates are pretty much what I want these to be. So I'm just going to make a copy of that, paste, and rename that folder to Dreams. Okay, because that way I have my, technically, let me just close these other ones. There I have my Dreams index in EJS. We'll set that up in a second. So now I need to figure out what dreams I'm going to send over. Okay, and in this case I really don't need the user object. The reason I wanted the user object before, and why I created that extra piece of middleware during the Hopes piece, was because Hopes was embedded in the user. In this case I'm fine just using the rec.session ID. It's really all I kind of need. Okay, I just need to kind of find which of these things match. Okay, so in this case what I'm going to do is just say did I import dreams? Yep, there it is. Const dreams equals await dream dot find, and I want to find any dream whose user, because again, if I go back to the schema for dream, the user is the object ID. Okay, so I just have to see which one has the right ID. Okay, so let me go back to dreams.js here, which anyone whose user matches rec.user.id. Nope, that's not right. rec.session.user.id. Because again, I don't have that custom middleware in this one that gave me the rec.user. So, cool. Rec.session.user.id. That should give me the right dreams. We'll see if we run into that whole text issue that we ran into with Hopes. I have a feeling this might work a little bit better because it is comparing an object ID to an object ID, and MONGO should know how to compare those things. So hopefully that works the way we want. Okay, so then, but what I will do is I will console.log the dreams so we can, just as a test, make sure that it is getting the dreams, which should right now be an empty array anyways. And we'll say dreams. Okay, and we just send the array down as dreams. Okay, cool. So, and then we're gonna make dreams, because again, we're gonna, just kind of like we did with Hopes, we'll have the form to create one right there on the page, just make life easier. So this will be a post route, and again, both of these are gonna need to be async. So I gotta make sure they're async since I'm using await inside of them. Okay, And in this case, post, what we're going to do is you're going to get the rec.body, and we're going to create a dream. So this should be pretty straightforward. We just say await dream.create rec.body. Well, actually, now that I think about it, I have to make sure that there's a user ID that it's attached to. Luckily, we have the user ID. So we're going to say rec.body.user equals rec.session.user.id. Okay. And then that should be all I need. Rec.body. Because again, we're only going to have like the text property from the form, because the form is just going to be like, what's your dream? But we got to make sure it's attached to that particular user. And since I have the ID of the user stored in session, I can just kind of grab it from there. I don't have to like query the user and do all this other fun wacky stuff. Rec.body, good. And then we're just going to res.redirect them back to the index page. Okay, so it'd be dreams/dreams. Okay, cool. So that should work. Now let me just go double check our index page for dreams and customize it so that way it works the way it should work. Okay, because again, we took this from Hope, so I got to change this to dreams. Like the dashboard link can stay there, but now it should be for dream of dreams. For dream of dreams, we still want the link to sort of like the show page, so I'll keep that. Dream._id, dream.text, and let me just double check that that's what it says in our schema. So if I go to dreams, yep, it's a property called text, so that stays the same. Okay, back to the EJS. So dream.text. This should be a post to /dreams now. Okay, and that's all fine. New dream. Okay, and create dream. And that should be good. Yes. Okay, I think we're good there. Let me just check here. Okay, well, let's try this out. Okay, so if I go on to dreams, now let's try to create a dream. So where would be a dream? To create a startup, like create something and be a billionaire. Why not? Okay, create a dream, and it worked. See, to create a startup. Okay, cool. Now the question is though, did it actually add it for this particular user? Like, did the user ID thing work? So to test that out, I need to log in as a different user and see if I see that dream. So I'm gonna go dashboard, I'm gonna log out. Okay, I'm gonna log in. We also created, I think, Alex Merced 2 earlier. So cheese. Okay, good. I shouldn't be able to see the same dreams. Good, and I don't see the same dreams. So that works, okay? Each user has their own unique dreams. That's all working out hunkily-dorily. Okay, so because again, basically what we're doing is that we're grabbing all the dreams that match that user ID, feeding them into that index page, and then we need to create our show page. And we'll kind of do it like we did before, where the show page will also double as the edit page, kind of like our index page is doubling as the new page. So router dot get /ID. Okay, async rec res. Okay, and what I want to do, and you know, here's the thing, I want to be a little bit more secure, because here's the thing. Usually what you would do is you would say, okay, const dream equals, and again, I would actually probably generate the ID first, so const ID equals rec.params.id, and then we would say, hey, the dream equals await find, or dream.find by ID, and I would just pass in the ID. The problem with this is that what if I just put in the URL bar an ID for an item that is not mine? Okay, I'm not logged in, and this particular dream doesn't belong to me. So what I'm going to do, just to be extra careful, just to make sure that, hey, you have to be the logged in user, and you have to be, so it has to belong to the logged in user, and it has to have the right ID. I'm going to use find one. Okay, and the ID should equal ID, and the user should equal the rec.session.user.id. Okay, so it's got to match both. Got to match the ID that was passed in and the user that is logged in. If it doesn't match both, it won't come in. Okay, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an if and say if the dream exists, because it'll be null if it doesn't find it. I'm going to say if, then we will just do like a res.render, and I will render the show page. So I'll render dream/show, and we will send the dream. Okay, wonderful. But if it's false, I'm going to send an error, res.status 400.json, make an object, error, no dream of this ID for this user. Okay, so I'm going to get this error instead. So if I try to access somebody else's ID, like that, or someone else's dream, I'm going to get this error. Okay, and I probably should have done like a check on this like in the previous one, but since it's embedded, I think it's harder because you're always doing it based off the logged in user, because it's embedded in the logged in user. I don't think you have that issue with hopes. So I'd have to like think about that, but yeah, because it's always basically searching it inside the user. So in that case, if you're not logged in, it's not going to find it. In this case, since it's a separate model, we have to make sure we put these kind of controls in place if we want to be like 100% secure. Again, I could have just found one, whatnot, and for my website it'll work just fine, but again, there's always a random user who tries to enter the URL and be tricky, so you've got to plan for those edge cases. That's most of the time in web development. It's not making the things work the way you want them to work that's hard. It's planning for when people try to not use the things you want them to use it, because you want to make that user experience airtight. So that should create the show page. Okay, and that's that. And the show page will just kind of continue working. So I just go back to dreams, and I'll go back to show and just change this. So this should be dream.text. Actually, we can make this even easier. What I'll do is I'll highlight hope, and then I think I can hold, it's like Alt. I forgot how you do this. Alt select? No. Query, format selected. Go to references, find all references. Is that it? Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Edit selection, not select all. So if I select hope here, I'm trying to remember what the key shortcut is. Selection, expand selection, add cursor above. Select all occurrences. There we go. Control Shift L, and see there that holds all of them. So then I can change all of them to dream. Okay, so that's going to be dream.id. So that kind of just changed all of them to what they needed to be, which makes my life easier. And what I want to change uppercase is this: dreams, dream.text, dream.id. Edit dream. That's just going to make the put request. So I got to make the put route, and then I need to make a delete route. Okay, but all that's kind of set in place. So yeah, I just got to make the routes. So dreams. Let's do the put router.put, and again, I'm not putting the show route at the bottom because since I don't have a new and edit route, I don't have any other get routes other than my index and my show route. Like, it shouldn't really be an issue, but normally I would put my show route at the very bottom because it's the one that could cause me potentially the most issues. Okay, so what's going on down here? Okay, it's just the export. Put slash slash, and I guess that's gonna be slash ID. Okay, async rec res. Okay. And what I'm going to do is wait dream dot find by ID and update. Okay. I'll pass in the ID of rec.params.id and pass in the new rec.body. And that should update it. I don't need to bother passing in the user because I'm not changing the user. So it won't change that property. It only change the properties that I updated. So that's fine. And then I should be able to just res.redirect back to index, which would be slash streams. Okay, that's all I really need for that route. And again, all these routes are protected by authentication because of the Auth middleware that says, hey, that's going to make sure that if someone's not logged in, they're not accessing that route. Router dot delete slash ID async rec res. Wait dream dot find by ID and remove, and then we just pass in the ID again, rec.params.id, and then res.redirect back to the index. And there we go. That should do it. That should get us to where we want to be. So let's try this out. So I have, let's create a hope. World domination. I don't know why. Whatever. So this is our dream. I click on the dream. Oh, cannot read property text of undefined. So it's not finding the dream. So that's telling me maybe like the way I structured my search is not working. So let's go back and test that out. So that would be in our show route. Okay, and again in my show route, see what I did here, they added that more extra complex route. So that's telling me that it's not. It's also telling me, let's see here. So let me do this. Let's console log that dream, because I should have gotten the other error if I wasn't finding it. Console.log dream. So let's see what we're getting. Refresh. Oh wait, I think it's still this is still sending to hope. Okay, did I hit the wrong ones? I hope I didn't hit the wrong ones. Okay. Let me take a look at my routes. Slash dashboard. This is for hopes. Dreams. Okay, should be going to dreams slash show. Dream slash. Okay, I'm going to do Control F. Look for hope in case I forgot hope somewhere. Not on that one. How about over here? There's one hope. Ah. So this should be dreams. So that's where we went wrong. Okay. So see that find feature in VS Code can be really helpful if you're trying to find, like, did you accidentally forget to change something somewhere? Okay, but fairly worth making use of. Okay, so let me go back. Click on this again, world domination. Property text of undefined. Still trying to render hopes. Oh, because I need to refresh the page. I didn't refresh the page for it to get the new version. Okay, now it should work. See, now it's using dreams. I can see it like right there. Okay, and there we go. Now I'm going to try to edit it. See if it works. Okay, editing works. Now let's try deleting it. I'll delete this stream. I no longer dream of world domination. That works. Okay, so we have full CRUD on dreams. Okay, and I'll push this code up so you can examine it, but you can see what we did. But essentially, again, the difference between sort of like doing full CRUD on an embedded relationship versus a object ID relationship. So hopefully you can kind of use these to contrast how you do those two different types of relationships and how you could, again, there's lots of different ways you could do this. This is not in all, like every possible way. I can think of like at least 3 or 4 more other completely different ways I could have kind of gotten to the same place. But this should give you an idea. And then at this point, like, the app works. I can different users can log in, keep track of their hopes and dreams, and then really at this point it would just be like further styling and deployment. So my name is Alex Merced from alexmercedcoder.com. Have a great day and enjoy.